Not gonna lie, I did not realize how much I missed my dark hair until I got it back. And I'm also feeling kind of vampy today because I finally got my winter color, like my winter foundation. So, good start to December. Good start. Hey guys, it's Therese and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me talking about the books that I plan to read in December. And I know what you're thinking. Therese, why are your shelves set up? You said you were going to film a video of you setting up your shelves. Well, I'm just going to throw up lovely little snaps of what my room looked like as I was setting up the shelves. And I'm gonna let y'all figure out how bad my anxiety got. So let's just moment of silence while this goes. I have two more shelves left, and then we decorate. But I just have to ask, at what cost? At what cost? But yeah, so I decided not to do that and just somehow wreck my back picking up books. But if you guys haven't seen my last video, which is my read with me, I was kind of updating you guys on what happened to me these past couple weeks. I was really sick one week, and then the following week I was moving / also recovering from being sick, and then and then the week after that I was unpacking, and that was also the week that I uploaded the video. So I'm back. I'm feeling a lot better. My room is almost all set up. I just have to put decorations up, get myself like a little coat thingy for my purses, a mirror in my room, a couple of organization things, a new dresser, and then a new mattress, which it all sounds very expensive, but I'm not buying it all in one go. Mattress will come after the holidays. But yeah, that is basically what's been up with me. Hope you guys have been well, and if you guys didn't watch my read with me video, they were rude. But yeah, let's get in to the books I'm planning on reading in December. And I had plans to make this like a very like contemporary kind of December, where like took a break from the fantasy, and then I realized that I am still reading a fantasy that I started in October. And I agreed to do a buddy read for not one, but two fantasy books. So, let's get into it before the shame really sinks in. The first book should come as no surprise, because if y'all have been here since October, you know that I have been struggling to read through Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I do plan to do a full book review on this little guy, so you'll find out exactly my thoughts, my problems, my confusion, and why it took me basically 2 months to read the damn book. But this is Sarah J. Maas's debut into the world of adult high fantasy. How I described it to my partner is that if you think of most of like the popular Western mythology, squish them into one novel to build a world around it, and then add a murder mystery element, some science, and sexual tension, and the occasional trashiness, and you have this book. I really enjoy it so far. I'm 79% of the way through, so I'm hoping to get done with it this weekend, or this week, and then have a video review up for you guys next week. But it's a lot. I enjoy it. It's very addicting when you get into it, but I feel like it's one of those books that I probably should have written on in all of my tabs. No, actually, I gave up writing in the tabs because I didn't know what to do, because I was too overwhelmed, and I gave up, because that's what we do in this household. When we get frustrated or annoyed, we give up and we just color code to no end. Moving on to the next book, which is one of my buddy reads, and I'm buddy reading Shadow Frost by Coco Ma with my lovely friend Sarah from String Bean Books, so I will leave her link down below. I'm hoping this buddy read goes better than our last one, which was, as you all know, The Priory of the Orange Tree. It took us several months, 2-3 months to read through that book, and we disliked all of it. I'm actually not completely positive as to what the book is about, so I'ma just give me a second. So it is a YA high fantasy novel following this princess who finds out that she is the one who can potentially kill this monster that has been terrorizing her kingdom and save it. And that's all I know from the synopsis that I may or may not have skimmed. But it seems interesting. It was on my want to read list when Sarah brought it up, so clearly I was intrigued by it enough to add it there, and I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy it. I know it's been kind of divisive on, I'm assuming everywhere, you either like it or you don't like it, so praying that Sarah and I fall on the spectrum to like it, because then this will have been our second book that we buddy read that we did not like. But on the bright side, it means it's the second book that we buddy read that the two of us didn't like as a unit. So I guess you can find the silver lining anywhere. The next buddy read, again, is somehow a high fantasy novel, and that is a high fantasy adult novel, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. If I'm being completely honest, I've no idea what this book is about, and I hate saying those words, but there's literally nothing on the back, and I got too lazy to look it up. I'm gonna just look it up 1 second. So I read the synopsis, and I'm somehow more confused than I was before I read the synopsis. So from the looks of it, there is a war and some stillness thing happening, and the world is ending. So it sounds really interesting, and a lot of people have given it such good reviews that I'm very excited to pick this up and read it and hopefully finish it. The font, thank the Lord, is pretty big, and there aren't a ton of pages. Is this even adult? It was an adult. Yeah, it's an adult, because some people that I know who read this don't read YA. And it has a freaking appendix. Does it have pronunciation? It has appendix, which like has a timeline, which is nice. It's only like 400 pages with the appendix, but you know, I would have liked pronunciations, because chances are I can't pronounce anything. The next book, as we all know, whenever I do like a reread month or a like contemporary month, I tend to end it with more of a kind of like middle grade fantasy. And since I am on the verge of finishing the series, finally, I decided to pick up Percy Jackson and the Last Olympians. I decided to pick up Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Last Olympian by Rick Riordan. That was a very confusing time for me. This is the final installment to the original Percy Jackson series. Basically, the Titans are coming back. The Half-Bloods have to prepare for what's going on. Potentially a war, things go down south, and now we have to figure out whether or not Percy, who is the only child, no, there's another child of the big three, but now there are two children of the big three who could potentially end or save the world. So we have to figure out who that is. So I'm very excited. I hauled this book a couple months ago, and I was meaning to read it. No, actually I was meaning to read it this month. So this is perfect. It's wonderful. So I'm really hoping to finish it and finish the series and then move on to the rest of Rick Riordan's like Heroes of Olympus and all those other books that are kind of overwhelming to look at when you look at the grand scheme of things. It's just like, I love series and continuations of series, but when you're trying to dive into it, it's so overwhelming to look at. Like, I don't. Moving on to my contemporaries, these are all, no, this is an adult contemporary actually, and that is Something to Talk About by Meryl Wilsner. This is an adult romance novel following these two women. I had to think about it for a second, which is a Hollywood powerhouse named Jo and her assistant Emma, and the two of them are photographed laughing, and you know, the media likes to stir things up and people think that they're together. So instead of like, you know, trying to defuse the situation, the two of them decided to fake a relationship, and things ensue, and it's hella queer, and the author is also queer, so it's pretty great. I'm excited to read it. I need some fluffy gay romance in my life. It's been a hot minute since I read like a fluffy gay romance. So, really excited to get into this book. This was a cover buy, because this was such a pretty cover, like look at it. But I'm excited nonetheless, and it's like the fake dating trope too, so like you can't go wrong with the fake dating trope. It's just glorious. The next book is a YA contemporary, and that is With Fire and High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is Elizabeth Acevedo's sophomore novel and the only novel of hers that I have yet to read. This follows a young teen mother who loves to cook. She loves to cook and she wants to find a way to go to culinary school and also balance having a child. And it just sounds like a lovely read, and we don't talk about teen pregnancy enough in YA. Surprisingly enough. But I'm super excited. This is her only book that is written in prose, and I've heard such good things about it, and like I haven't had dinner yet, so looking at the cover is making me kind of hungry, especially since there are mangoes on it. And if I open up the cover, I'm just gonna get even hungrier because like... So I'm gonna just put this book down. And finally, the last book that I plan to read in the month of December, hopefully I get to all of these. That book is Patron Saints of Nothing by Randy Rebay. This is a YA contemporary novel, but it kind of deals with more contemporary issues. This follows a young boy who is just trying to spend the last semester of his college career just kind of coasting through it, which like when you're on your last semester of college and you have basically 0 credits left to do, you're coasting. And it's a wonderful coast, it's beautiful, it's great. But then something happens where the war on drugs in the Philippines ends up kind of hitting close to home when his cousin June is murdered. So he has to return to the Philippines to kind of figure out exactly what happened, because as he knows his cousin fairly well, he doesn't understand how his cousin got involved in drugs or why his cousin got involved in drugs, and he's there to find out. Sounds super hard-hitting and I'm kind of scared to pick it up, and I'll probably pick it up right after Crescent City, but we will see. I've heard such good things about it, and it's like a National Book Award finalist, so I'm excited to get into it. Hopefully it's good and let you guys know. But that is it for this video. I am currently on 56 books out of 65, which means I have 5 books left before I complete my goal or completely suck at it. So I have 6 books on this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. No. 6, 7. 6 or 7 books on this list. So if I can finish at least 5 of them, I will have met my Goodreads goal. So, but if you guys have read these books, please let me know in the comments down below what you kind of thought, but don't spoil things for me. If you guys want me to do a review on any of these books, let me know as well, and I'll be more than happy to do that. But until next time, hit like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. So yeah, bye.